Welcome to another episode of Ageplay Confidential, a show that talks about anything and everything Ageplay related. I am your host, as always, Super B. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Ageplay Confidential. Hope you're having a great weekend. And do you know what today is, ladies and gentlemen? Do you know? I'll give you 1 second to guess. Give up? That's right. Happy 3/16 day. Ah, yeah. Grab your beers. Put up your middle fingers. And be like Steve Austin today. All right. Happy 3/16 day. That is right. And then tomorrow, of course, is St. Patty's Day. And top of the morning to all the people who celebrate St. Patty's Day. I'll have me Lucky Charms tomorrow celebration. Maybe I should wear green. Do I have anything green to wear tomorrow? I don't think so. I'm not a colorful kind of guy. I am a black, darks, grays, blues, navies. That's what I am. I do have a baby blue sports jacket that looks very spiffy, I must say, with white pants and the white shirts, all white like Don Johnson from Miami Vice. For the young kids, Miami Vice was a show in the 80s. The 80s. Oofa. That's right. Well, welcome back to a show called Ageplay Confidential. And yes, we talk about all Ageplay-related stuff. Yummy, yummy, yummy Ageplay-related stuff. And today we have 2 parts. First part is going to be the topic of today, which is triggers. What are the triggers that trigger your little space? And then we're going to end it with listener mail. Somebody wrote in asking for advice, and I'm going to read it and give this person some advice. How about that? Okay, why don't we get started? Triggers. So listen. There's a lot of things that'll trigger the little space in us, right? And it could be any little thing. It could be a smell. Maybe you get a little whiff of the baby powder, right? And that thing just takes you into a headspace like, right? A smell. Maybe it's the smell of Baby Magic. You ever smell Baby Magic, that lotion, if you're not familiar with? It comes in a pink plastic container, and it is what I usually put on first and foremost before the baby powder. So talk about triggering. Okay, for me, you got the combination smell of baby powder. You got the combination smell of the baby lotion, the Baby Magic. Has to be Baby Magic. And it could be a nice babyish smelling powder, right? And the combination just smells. It oozes, that smell that brings us back. It does. It really does. Now, okay, let's be real. Add a little bit of pee smell mixed in with that, and holy shit, that's like bottle that up and give me that perfume, that cologne, that eau de diaperette. Let me spray it all over myself. Psych. No, I would not spray that all over myself. However, if there was a scent that matched that, I'd like Febreze it in my room when I turn it into a nursery, and I walk in and ooh, it smells like a baby in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is like baby smell. And isn't that what we want to achieve? We want to achieve that baby headspace. And boy, those smells do that triggering just right. Right? Now, I went on my Instagram and I asked the question, what are your triggers? Because I wanted to kind of share some with you here, um, based on what they said. And there's a couple of ones that were, pretty interesting here. Let me try to pull it up here. If you give me a second here. The joys, I should have been prepared, What I'm doing here is going through my story archive because I posted this on my story a couple of days ago. And here we go. So I asked the question, what are the things that trigger you? Here is one response here. Crinkly things or things that rattle. Yeah, crinkly things. Well, crinkly for me, I think the crinkle that will get me there is the sound of a plastic diaper crinkle. You know what I'm saying? Not like a plastic bag crinkle or something like that. No, it has to be that diaper crinkle sound, which, yes, it's plasticky, but there's a difference between like a shopping bag and a diaper, right? So yeah, crinkly. And then things that rattle. That necessarily wouldn't trigger me per se. Like if I heard, like I wouldn't be like, oh, no, But I could see how something like that would trigger somebody. Now, when I'm in my little infant headspace, yeah, I got a rattle in my head. I'm just shaking that shit because, that is what it is. Okay, here's another one. Certain cartoons, music, talking to me like a baby, and diaper pats / checks. Yeah, listen, talking, the voice is very powerful. Very powerful. Apparently, my DDLG audios are the cat's pajamas. That's how powerful it is. I've gotten a lot of messages saying, oh, how your podcast made me discover blah, blah, blah. And I'm very grateful for that. But it's amazing how my words or how I present it in the right way can trigger somebody's headspace and put them there, right? So talking, especially if you're talking to somebody in that, like, if you're a mommy, in that motherly tone, very soft-spoken, saying just the right things, I'll tell you right now, that is super de-dupe-dupes triggering for me. I mean, that is by far, like, probably the one thing non-diaper related, right? Because diapers will trigger me. I think I need diapers to be little for sure. But you can certainly get me started by just talking to me like that, softly, and looking at me like you're giving up your power. You're giving it up to me type of thing. So yeah, that talking, that baby talk, for sure, triggering, and I agree. The diaper pats and diaper checks. Well, at that point, you're in a diaper. I'm already in little space if you think about it, right? It's hard not to. But, I could wear a diaper and not be in little space. But yeah, I get it. You're talking. All right, here's another one. Having a passy popped into my mouth and told that I don't need to say big words anymore. Well, I think if you pop a passy in the mouth, that's automatically like, doink, okay, I know what's supposed to happen next. But being told that I don't need to say big words anymore. That's right. Why do you need to talk anymore? You don't need to talk. Now it's time for you to shut your little brain off and turn into blah, 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 blah. Right? That's. I guess that'll definitely be triggering. Like, yep. Basically what you're saying is you're giving up all control. Now you can't talk because you're just a baby. And then, yeah, I bet that is for sure triggering, Being spoken to like an actual child and humiliated for being little, kind of on the same realm, right? I think, yeah, being, talked to like a baby, being talked to like a little child, humiliation, for sure, gosh. We're hitting on not only triggers, but like fantasies, I mean, geez, who wouldn't want to be humiliated a little bit, right? I know the girls that I babied. They loved it. You guys love it, don't you? You know it. I know you know it. Okay, toy. Here's another one. Toys, instant grabby hands. Bonus if someone pretends plays with me. Um, okay, see, toys themselves are not a triggering thing for me. You know, I really don't play with toys. Like, okay, look, I have little Matchbox cars that I'm collecting. Right, I'm collecting movie cars like Dukes of Hazards, Knight Rider. I'm looking for the A-Team van, shit like that. It's a little hobby, but you know what? If I'm going to play with something in little space, it'll be those toys. But even still, just a toy itself, whether it's a baby toy or a big kid toy, it really doesn't, it's not like something that's triggering for me per se. So yeah. Here's another one. Needing help to do things, being told you're too little for something, spilling, and needing a bib. Well, now that's just acting like a baby, right? What's triggering about that? Now you're in little space at that point, right? So I don't know if that falls into the realm of what's triggering. I mean, what can be triggering about that? Needing help to do things. I guess if you're a short person, you need somebody to grab something from the top shelf. Can I get some help? Then I guess that could trigger you because, oh, look at you. You're so tall getting that stuff, and I'm just a little person, blah, blah, blah. I guess so. Any more here? Okay. Getting talked to like a baby at random. Like, oh, what color is that? Huh. It'd take a little bit more than that for me. We're sitting there, and then she goes, hey, what kind of dog is that? It's a German Shepherd. Thank you very much. Next. I wouldn't, it wouldn't trigger me. I guess, it's everybody else is different, right? Here's one. Comfort items, blankets, pillows, stuffies. They get me cozy. Edibles help too, she says. Or he, I can't tell. Okay, comfort items, blankets, pillows, stuffies. Okay. All right. Yes to that. But for me, it goes a little further, right? So you got your blankets, you got your stuffies, right? But for me also, it's my room setup, right? My bouncer, the crib, the changing table, the play gym, all that visual, that's triggering, So, I mean, when I walk in my room, I set my room up occasionally into a nursery, right? It's temporary, and I put it back to a big boy room. It's a big boy room now, but this weekend it was all nursery. But when I walk in to that room, even because I'll be a baby all weekend, but during the morning I'll go run some errands and go to the gym, and so I'll get into my big boy undies and I'll go out and I'll do all the errands and stuff, and then I'll come back knowing that I'm going to be walking into that room. When I walk into that room, I open that door, and I see the bouncer in the corner, and I see the crib and the changing table and a diaper waiting for me right there. Instant trigger. It's like done. Let's just go. Let's just go. So, yeah, cozy things, something that looks inviting, something that looks like a baby would nap there. Like mommy's lap. Yes, that's right. You can tell. Diapers, and the last but not least, diapers. Of course, diapers are triggering. Diapers are very triggering. Diapers are the ultimate trigger. But let's say we're not involving diapers at all, for me at least, that talking to me as in that little voice would definitely do the trick. And I think the voice, the words that come out of somebody's mouth can be very powerful, very triggering. And it could be just the simplest thing, I know there's some people like when I told them, hey, what would your friends think if they saw you like this, acting like a big baby? You say stuff like that, and it makes, I guess it puts it makes them think, it's like a humiliating thing. Like, it would be embarrassing if they found out. What would happen if they walked in? What would happen if they walked in and helped me change you? Type of scenario, type of thing. You throw those out, and boy, those definitely trigger, for sure. So, I think there's definitely a plethora of things that will trigger somebody into that little headspace. And it could be as simple as a toy, like was said, like you see a toy and blah, 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 there we go. Or it could be more complicated than that. Like me, I need I need my room set up like a nursery. I've desensitized myself over the years with what it takes for me to actually get into the headspace. We're moving away a little bit from triggers, but it's more like, it started off for me like when you go to the early days of Super B posting online, diaper space days and everything like that. I didn't have much. I didn't have the whole nursery that I had. I had a baby blue blanket that I laid on my bed, and that's it. Started taking pictures like that. And for many years, it was just like that. Taking pictures in my room, nothing special, no pizzazz, nothing like that. Typical, learning. And besides, I had a webcam. There was no digital phones back then. There was no iPhones with these kick-ass cameras and everything like that. No. We had a webcam. We're talking like 2 megapixels here, okay? So some of these pictures, when I go back to look at them, then the resolution that I have now, it's ridiculous. You can barely see it. It's so tiny, But anyway, and then over the years, I think the first thing I got was my crib, which I actually initially got as a playpen, safety gates, right? And then it turned into a crib. And then I think the next thing I did was make the play gym. I had a couple of prototypes until I got the one that I have now. And then the next thing I got was the changing table, then the bouncer, and it just all came together. And now, many years later, I have what you see in my pictures online. If you know where I'm located, it's not hard to find. But if you want Super Baby on FetLife, just Super Baby on FetLife. If you want to follow me, if you do follow me on FetLife, just shout me out from the podcast so I know where you're coming from. And then you can see all the pictures that I'm talking about here. But yeah, triggers. There are a lot of triggers, and hopefully they are not triggering enough that you are made to feel uncomfortable, which kind of blends into our next topic here, and that's our listener mail. So, as you know, besides this talking about topics, I also would definitely like to extend myself to you guys and try to offer advice. I've been in the community for 25-ish years, 25 years, since like 1999, 2000. I go way back. So I started off where there was no social media, Ageplay. There was no printed diapers, to now you have a shit ton of printed diapers, a shit ton of places where you can buy baby clothes, and just resources and just convention. There's everything here. So I know a thing or two about a thing or two. And if you want some advice, feel free. I will try to do my best here. And this person wrote in. They would like to remain anonymous, so I will not disclose their name, which they really don't have their name here. Let me smoke a little bit. Very good, very good. Smoke break. And this is where we wind down the show and end it with listener mail. Okay, so I'm going to try to read this on the fly. And if you tried to read things on the fly, gotta tell you, it's not easy. People stumble upon their words. That's why when you do voice acting, people are professionally trained so they don't fuck up. Now, we're going to try our best here, but here we go. Hey there, I never thought I'd write this one day, and maybe I was blah, blah, blah. Let's start over. Hey there, I never thought. Okay, let's start over. Hey there, I never thought I'd write this one day, and maybe this is going to be a bit chaotic, but here we are. First of all, I hope you're doing better. The health scare sounded pretty bad. Wishing you all the best. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Last year was very hellish, but I am back, so thank you for that. Second of all, as someone who has only discovered your channel about a month or so after you went MIA, I fucking screamed when I saw you uploaded a new video, so happy you're back. Yeah, I guess my last audio role play before the one I posted a couple of weeks ago was 2 years prior. So I left a lot of people hanging for a couple of years. So that video that I posted a few weeks ago was probably a shocker for most. And I'm sorry. And I just posted another one, by the way. So go check that out if you haven't yet. But I know most people will check that out over this. Nobody wants to really hear me talk, except if it's to them as a baby. Anyway, let's get back to the email. Okay. I guess like most people in this community, I'd never told anyone about my little secret. But to me, that wasn't just because I was ashamed or thought it was something wrong. I'd say I'm almost physically unable to talk about it. Like I panic internally when I see anything baby related in public, especially if I'm with other people. My heart just starts racing and I feel like I've been caught in a way. That's all just in my head, though. I'm excelling at hiding it. Nobody would guess that there's anything going on with me, but still, saying words like diaper or pacifier out loud? Impossible. LOL. On the other hand, this stuff turns me on so bad. She wrote it like that. Turns, period, me, period, on. So nothing else does the trick for me but this. I never met another ABDL in real life, though. I thought I was crazy until I discovered your channel. Long story short, having this kink is one thing. I've read countless articles and watched hundreds of videos about it, and I know this is my thing. But I haven't found anyone who has expressed the same level of intense shame and panic as me. So since you're more experienced, yes I am, and you've met other people in this community, I was wondering, have you ever heard about people with similar experiences? Is this a thing, or do you just have some type of unresolved childhood trauma that my brain is dealing with in the weirdest way? Ha ha. Thank you for reading. Would love to hear your thoughts on this, whether it is in a video or just as an email. All the best, random strangers who wants to remain anonymous. Phew. Now, I said she. I have no idea if it's a she or not. It just comes across as she. If you're not a she, I apologize. But, okay. So this person is asking, are they weird for having these, like almost like panic attacks when they hear certain words? Now we were talking about triggers earlier, and now here's this person's trigger. Saying the word diaper or pacifier out loud, forget about it. That is like an uber ultra trigger. It's like so triggering that you think that your body is gonna irradiate or spill out like clues that you're into this stuff, like it's definitely in your head, because nobody thinks that way. Only people that are into it will. And if somebody looks at you funny, then maybe they're into it. You got to think about it like that. But you got to think about all the other times other people have brought up that word, diaper, pacifier, in the right opportunity, in the right moment, that those words are perfectly, it's a word. It's a word. They're fine regardless. you know? When you say the word pillow, does that make you feel any way? No, but you know what? Somebody might like stuffing a pillow between their legs, and every time they hear the word pillow, they get triggered. But to you, it's like, yeah, it's just pillow. So it's just diaper. It's just pacifier. It doesn't have to be that bad. It's definitely in your head, but I don't think you have to worry. Now, I haven't met anybody like that, but I mean, I think we all have had some sort of similar type of embarrassment when something is said or heard, right? Case in point, me, for example. Okay, backstory. When I was 5 and I discovered my love for diapers, I would occasionally sneak into my mom's closet, pull out a diaper from the box of Pampers that were there. My little sister was wearing Pampers at the time, and I was caught wearing it. And my aunt caught me, and she told my parents, and my parents thought it was funny, fucking hilarious. And so anytime a Pampers commercial would come on, they would look at me and be like, do we have to get that for you? Does somebody need some? Are you going to need some? So I would get teased like that. So naturally, after that, even when they were long gone, stopped teasing me about it, I would still get so nervous and red-faced when a Pampers commercial would come on. And I would have to walk away because I was so embarrassed. So I kind of get what you're saying. Like there's the words that are just like, I got over it, obviously. And sometimes I've said the word like diaper, like, oh my God, I got to wear a diaper if I'm not, because people have said that before. So, it's not that bad. And if anybody says anything, they're not going to say anything. I think if you make it overtly obvious, like, then people might be like, oh, why do you keep bringing the word up? Does it trigger you if you say it to yourself, by yourself? If it does, why don't you try to practice saying it over and over again? Desensitize yourself to it. Diaper. Make another word the cringe word, like pamper. Pamper. Right? I still get kind of weirded out when I say, or when a girl says, I just want to be pampered. Now, clearly, that word is used all the time in that context. I just want to be pampered. Every time I hear that, I'm thinking, I want to put you in Pampers. Like there's a difference there. But people say pamper. Like for me, it's kind of weird to say pamper because I associate it with a diaper. But no, I want to be pampered. Women can say that. If a big, strong, muscly guy like me said, hey, I want to be pampered, it ain't gonna, it doesn't have the right thing to it, tone, whatever. So listen, mystery person, I don't think you're weird. I think we all have something very similar. And for you, it seems like you have these things. Again, it's all in your head. Really, it is. Diaper, pacifier. Don't say it out loud then. Just don't say it out loud. If somebody else says it out loud, then that's on them. It's not on you. You probably might get a little embarrassed, though, if someone else said it, right? Like if somebody else said diaper. What if somebody else said, I want to wear a diaper, just for fuck's sakes, Like, what would that do to you? Would that and then trigger you, but then at the same time, oh, I'm intrigued. You do? So do I. We're besties now. But I think we've all had the same thing. So, no, I don't think you're weird. And I think you're brave for asking that question. So I do appreciate it. You're the second ever, I believe, male. The first one was like many, many years ago. So we'll just say you're the first of this new year. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Okay, well, I do appreciate you sticking around for this long. It's coming up on a half hour. I did not think I would do a half hour here, but here we are. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Ageplay Confidential, and I look forward to talking to you again very, very soon. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and goodbye.